Welcome back to Fireside Fears. If you enjoy chilling, immersive horror stories told in the dark, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. Now, let the fire crackle, let the night settle in, and let's begin. The thing that followed me out of the woods. 2 years ago, I went hiking alone in a national forest. I'd done the trail dozens of times, and it never felt dangerous. Peaceful, quiet, predictable. But that day, I wandered deeper than usual, past the marked trails, past the familiar landmarks, into areas that felt older, like the forest had stopped caring about people long ago. Around dusk, I realized I'd made a mistake. The woods grew darker faster than I expected, and the temperature dropped sharply. My phone had no signal. The air felt heavy, pressing against my skin, and the forest had gone completely silent. No birds, no insects, nothing. Then, something cracked a branch behind me. I turned, expecting maybe a deer or a stray dog, but what I saw was wrong. Completely wrong. In between the trees stood a figure. Tall. Too tall. Its outline stretched upward like someone pulled it by invisible strings. It had no face, at least not one I could see, and its arms were long and thin, hanging past its knees. It didn't move, didn't sway, didn't breathe. It just watched me. I backed away slowly. My heart hammered so loudly I could hear it echo in my skull. I whispered out loud, "I'm leaving," even though I don't know why. Maybe instinct, maybe fear, maybe the hope that something that big could understand speech. The figure took one step toward me. Not fast, not aggressive, just one motion that made every cell in my body scream to run. So I ran. Branches whipped against my face as I sprinted through the forest, not caring where I was going, just away from that thing. But no matter how far I ran, the sound followed. Soft, measured, like footsteps made by something learning how to walk. Not stomping, not crashing, just following. By the time I reached the trail again, the sky was nearly black, and the last stretch of the path was barely visible. I didn't look back, couldn't look back, until I burst out into the gravel parking lot. Nothing was behind me. My car was the only vehicle there. I dove inside, locked the doors, started the engine, and drove home shaking so violently I could barely keep the wheel straight. I told myself it had to be an animal, a trick of the shadows, fear exaggerating shapes. But fear doesn't follow you home. That night, while I was trying to sleep, something tapped on my bedroom window. 3 taps, slow, deliberate. I froze. My breath caught in my throat. My apartment was on the 2nd floor. There was no balcony outside my room, no tree branches near the window, no way for anything to stand there. Tap. 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 I finally forced myself to look. Nothing was there. Just the darkness outside. But in the glass, reflected faintly, was the shape of something impossibly tall, standing behind me inside the room. I spun around. Nothing. My reflection was alone, but the shape in the window remained. I grabbed a blanket, ran to the living room, and slept with all the lights on. I convinced myself it was leftover fear from the woods, that I was imagining things, that it couldn't have followed me. The next night proved me wrong. At 3:19 a.m., every light in my apartment flickered and went out. A cold sensation like icy fingers pressed against the back of my neck. I felt something, standing right behind me. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. I heard breathing. Not human breathing, slow, wet, heavy, a dragging inhale like something learning how lungs work for the first time. Then it spoke. Not in words, in a whisper that scraped like dead leaves. You left too soon. I bolted. I slept in my car that night and the next. I stopped going home except to grab clothes or shower during the day, but every time I opened the door, I found something moved, something placed differently, something waiting. The worst was the third week. My bedroom wall had a mark on it, a long vertical smear of something dark, and above it drawn in fingertip strokes were the words, "I learned you. Now you learn me." I moved out the same day. New apartment, new locks, new neighborhood. I changed my number, blocked all windows with curtains, slept with noise playing constantly. For a month, nothing happened. Then last night, around 4 a.m., I woke up to a familiar sound. Tap. 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 On the inside of my closet door. I froze. My breath caught in my throat. A voice whispered through the crack, "You left too soon." And the closet door slowly began to open. I didn't wait to see what stepped out. I'm writing this in a motel an hour away. I don't know what it wants. I don't know what it is. But I know one thing. It's not done following me. And if you ever feel something tall standing just out of sight behind you, don't run. It likes when you run. The fire's burning low now. If you enjoyed the story, stay close. There are many more to tell. Until next time, sleep with one eye open. You're never truly alone when you're near the fire.